Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing the fantasy book tag. I was tagged to do this by Ariel from Reading and Whatnot. I will put her channel up here and a link will be down below in case you want to check out her channel, which I strongly recommend that you do because she is awesome. Thank you so much Ariel for tagging me for this video, and yes, I have got a Harry Potter wands. In case you are wondering whose this actually belongs to, this is Snape's wands. I have several wands in my room, and yeah, I thought I'd just get it out because when am I ever going to use this, as a prop? I'm just going to go all through these questions. They are all going to be fantasy related, so there's not going to be any horror or science fiction in this whatsoever. So yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get started. Question 1. What is your favourite book? This would probably go to the first book in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, which is called The Final Empire over here in the UK. But in America and other parts of the world, it is simply referred to as Mistborn. This was my first ever... no wait, I tell a lie. I was going to say this is my favourite... this was my first Brandon Sanderson book rather. But that honour had to go to Skyward. But I really like this book. Everyone was going on about it so much, and I was thinking, right, if I read this and I don't like it, or if it's not amazing, then I'm going to be extremely disappointed. But it was really, really good. I like the characters. I like the setting. I like the world. Although the magic system was a kind of tricky to picture in my mind, because it's kind of out there and I was trying to picture the fight scenes in my mind, and it was kind of hard to actually do, but I really like the story so much. Question 2. What is a book you hate? Hate is a strong word. I'm all about love on this channel. I had to think about this one, as there are not a lot of fantasy books that I dislike, which I'm going to use as the word to actually replace the word hate. As fantasy books tend to be really impressive to me. I really like fantasy books, so to get a fantasy book that I didn't like is extremely rare. But I've chosen to go with the Clan of the Cave Bear. I did a whole video review on it. It will be down below in case you want to check it out. It's all about cavemen in a prehistoric Earth. There's no aliens or anything like that in it, or any magic system or anything unusual. But for some reason, I think it's classified as a fantasy book. But it was okay. It was a bit slow. I'm still on the fence whether I am ever going to give it a second chance. Question 3. What is your favourite series? Sticking with the fantasy theme, I'm probably going to be really basic and say Stranger Things. Obviously you can only watch it on Netflix. It's not out on DVD or Blu-ray right now. Although you probably can get it, but it probably costs a lot of money. There are currently 3 seasons of Stranger Things out right now. I liked all of them. I've only watched them once, but I need to give them a rewatch. But I enjoyed it. It was really, really fun, with a kind of a horror twist on the whole series. So that's kind of a nice thing to actually see. But I really had a lot of fun watching that show. Question 4. Paperbacks or hardbacks? That really depends on the overall size of the book. If the hardback is a very manageable size, and it's not going to be a pain in the ass for me to carry around with me, then hardbacks are cool. But most of the time, hardbacks are really, really thick, and they are massive. They're actually like taking like a paving slab with you if you want to take the book out with you when you go into work or the park or wherever you want to go. So most of the time I always go for paperbacks because they are lighter, they are more transportable, if that's even a word. and I just find them more convenient to read and take out with me when I'm going to work or the park or a cafe or wherever I want to go. So definitely paperbacks. Question 5. What is a popular book you didn't like? I had to really think about this one, as I wasn't quite sure about what I was going to say, because as I said, fantasy is a genre that I deeply enjoy, and it's extremely rare that I come across a book in that genre that I didn't like. But the book that I've chosen for this, to actually answer this question, is the first book in the Dresden Files series by Jim Butcher, which is called Stormlight. And it's about a wizard who is a detective, and he goes around solving mysteries and cases and all that type of stuff. I didn't dislike the book. I thought it was average. I am willing to give the other books in this series a go because I've heard that they only get better as the series goes on. But again, I didn't dislike that book. I just thought that it was extremely average. Question 6. What is your Hogwarts house? I'm a Slytherin. I do not know why I'm drawn to being a Slytherin. Maybe because whenever I'm watching a movie or reading a book, I'm always drawn towards the bad guys and the villains because they seem to be a bit more interesting to me rather than the goody two shoes heroes, which only seem to be one-dimensional. Yes, they may have a character trait where they've lost a parent or a sibling, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. But villains I find a bit more intriguing, so that's probably why I'm drawn towards Slytherin. And plus, I am driven by accomplishments and achievements. Question 7. What character would you like to hang out with? I answered this question, or similar to this question, on my Q&A video, which I will put up here, and the link will be down below, where someone asked me this very similar question, and I'm going to answer it as the same way. That is going to be Logan Ninefingers from the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. I was nearly going to say Joe Hill. He is a really strong warrior, although he kind of gives me the impression that he has no idea what he's doing. Most of it is just luck, but he is a strong leader, and he likes to, he actually likes to bring people together that are all different and all, bring them together under one banner and one group, if that made sense. Question 8. What character would you not like to hang out with? So I had to really think about this one, guys. I am going to be sticking with the First Law trilogy, and I'm going to say Jezal. I will put his name up here in case I've pronounced it wrong. He isn't a villain. He is kind of like a good guy, but he is I think he's more of a prince or a young handsome guy, and he's very sure of himself, and he seems very privileged, and he seems stuck up all the time. Although in the second book in the trilogy, he is trying to be more than that, but definitely him in the first book I wouldn't like to hang out with, but who knows, maybe his character improves in the second book. Question 9. Favourite fantasy TV show? Because I have already said Stranger Things, I am going to go with the next one that pops into my mind in the fantasy genre, and that is going to be The Witcher. I know that there is only one series or one season of that show right now. They're currently making season 2. But if you think about it that way, that whole series got me interested in reading the whole of the Witcher series. And for one season of a show, no matter what it is or what genre it is, that is a massive accomplishment for that show to actually do, to actually get you hooked on the original material. I have read the first book in the Witcher series, which is called The Last Wish, and I am currently going to try to attempt to read the next two books in the series, which are called Sword of Destiny and Blood of Elves. Question 10. Who is your favourite author? I'm going to presume that they mean a fantasy author, and I'm going to go with Brandon Sanderson, because I haven't read too many of his books. I think I've read 4. I've actually read Skyward, which isn't a fantasy book; it's a science fiction book. I've read the Final Empire. I've read the Arithmetist, and I've also read Snapshot. So I've only read a few of his books, or a handful of them rather, but I really enjoy all of his books. I am sure that there's going to be a book out there that is written that I come across that I am not going to enjoy as much. But for the most part, I love his characters, I like his world building, I like his writing style as a whole, and his whole vibe is really, really great. He seems to be a really, really great guy that I would like to meet personally. Question 11. What fictional worlds would you like to visit? So sticking with the fantasy theme, I am going to go with Middle-earth, as I've just finished up reading the whole of the Lord of the Rings books, and I have spent so much time in that world, and I just like it so much. It really is so good. I just feel like I would love to go into that world and have my own adventure with hobbits and dwarves and elves and men and giants and all that type of stuff. It would really be cool. Question 12. What fictional world would you not like to visit? I am going to go with the world in the First Lord trilogy. I believe that that it doesn't really specify the name of the world as a whole. If it does, then I have missed it, but I'm going to say that the world in general in the First Lord trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, as it is so brutal, it is so violent, it is unforgiving, it has slavery in it, and is a very, very violent and unforgiving world. So I am going to say that. Question 13. What fictional item would you like to have? This is a really difficult question for me, because I'm one of these people which is like, well, I'm not going to have it, so what's the point in thinking about it? But if I had to answer this question, I would definitely say I would love to have Geralt's 2 swords from The Witcher. That would be really cool, as I believe that one of them is an ordinary sword, and that one of them is a silver sword, because certain monsters can be killed and defeated by silver. So I would really like to get both of his swords. Question 14. What is your favourite magic system? You thought I was going to say Harry Potter, wouldn't you? I know that it is nice for books that actually have like a simple like magic wand system, and you know, it's all spell item, or spell magic system where you wave a bit of wood and it produces a spell, such as Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, like standard wizards and witches. But I am going to say Mistborn. That was actually really cool, about where you swallowed all these like small metal shards, and they gave the user, or the person who swallowed them, unique magical abilities. I was actually thinking about how painful it must be to actually excrete these pieces of metal, unless they are really, really fine, so they break up naturally and dissolve naturally within the person that's digested them, or or actually swallowed them. But I would say the metal system, or the magic system rather, in Mistborn. And the last question, question 15. What myths about the fantasy genre would you like to see broken down? That fantasy is only for children or young adults. That fantasy isn't for adults. I know that there are certain books that the main overall target market is for children, such as Harry Potter. But Harry Potter can be enjoyed by anyone, young and old, no matter what age or genre, or not genre, what sex you are. And there are some fantasy books that are mostly for young children, and only young children can enjoy them. But fantasy is like a wide range of stuff, really. I mean, you got grimdark, which I am really enjoying, and a lot of the books in the fantasy genre can be enjoyed by adults, and they shouldn't be read by anybody that's like a child or a teenager, because one, they wouldn't understand it anyway, even if they did read it, and two, it may have graphic violence in it, may have some sex scenes, and the overall story might go completely over a child's head. But yeah, that's what I would like to actually see, that fantasy is not just for children or young people. So I have got to tag some people now. I am going to be tagging Book Binge, Eleanor Nick Vatter, Gabby Zarkanim, Steve Talks About Books and Stuff, and Chaz Emmy. I've chosen these booktubers because they mostly focus on fantasy for the majority of their channels. But if you are watching this and you are a fantasy fan that either mentions you or tags you, consider yourself tagged. So that's it, guys. That is the fantasy book tag. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. I will have all these channels and questions linked down below, so in case you want to check these out, and in case you want to do this tag, you can just go look down below and I'll have a list of all the questions for you. So if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and comment down below. Subscribe if you are new. If you do subscribe, please click on that wonderful bell so it tells you about whenever I upload videos, which are every Monday and Friday. I will have a link down below as always to my Goodreads account in case you want to follow me on Goodreads and see what I'm currently reading, and perhaps message me as well. And yeah, with all out the way, have a great day, read some awesome books, and I will see you all in my next video.